You think this is a game? You think this is some kind of parlor trick where you pull a rabbit out of a hat and everybody claps? Hoo-ah! You are wrong! You are dead wrong! We are watching two heavyweights, two titans of the modern age, standing in the middle of the ring, bloodied, battered, and they are taking the gloves off. Bill Clinton, the comeback kid, Slick Willie, he just looked across the table at Donald Trump, the Don, the man who thinks he owns the casino, and he said, I call. He called the bluff. He looked at the cards. He looked at the chips, and he said, show me what you got, tough guy. Because when you dance with the devil, you don't wait for the song to end. You lead. And right now, the music is stopping, the lights are coming up, and the Epstein files are the only thing left on the floor. It's a standoff. It's a Mexican standoff with nuclear codes and flight logs. And nobody, I mean nobody, knows who is going to walk out of that room alive. Welcome back to Alpacino Reports. I am your host, Al Pacino. Now, listen to me and listen close, because I don't like to repeat myself. You see that button down there? That little red button that says subscribe? You gotta hit that button like it owes you money. You gotta smash it. You gotta become part of this family, part of this army of truth. Don't sit there staring at me with those big eyes. Act. Be a man. Be a woman. Be a force of nature. Subscribe. Hoo-ah! Okay, let's get into the mud. Let's get into the filth, because that is what this is. It is filth. It is the underbelly of the beast. For years, Donald Trump has been using the Epstein name like a cudgel. He's been swinging it around, saying, oh, look at Bill, look at Clinton. He was on the plane, he was on the island. He's been trying to paint the picture that he is clean and everybody else is dirty. But Bill Clinton, this guy is a survivor. You don't survive 2 terms, an impeachment and a scandal with an intern, without having skin like a rhinoceros. And now, reports are coming out, whispers from the inner circle, that Clinton is saying, fine, release them, release everything. Let's see whose name is written in bigger letters. It's a dare. It's a double dog dare. It is the ultimate power move. You think you have dirt on me? I have dirt on you. I have the whole mountain of dirt. And Trump is blinking. For the first time, maybe, just maybe, the bluster isn't working. Because Trump knows what we all know deep down in the dark recesses of our minds, that they were all there. They were all part of the same club, the Palm Beach Club, the New York High Society Club, the we can do whatever we want because we are rich and powerful club. And now the club is burning down. You gotta understand the psychology here. This isn't just politics. This is ego. This is legacy. Bill Clinton looks at his legacy and he sees peace, prosperity, the 90s. But there is a stain, a dark, indelible stain. And he knows that if he lets Trump dictate the narrative, that stain grows. It covers everything. So he has to fight back. He has to go on the offensive, call the bluff. That implies that Trump doesn't have the goods, or that Trump's goods are just as damaged. It's mutually assured destruction. It's the Cold War all over again. But instead of missiles, it's massage schedules and flight manifests. And let me tell you, when you look at the history, when you look at the pictures, you see them together, laughing, smiling, arms around each other. Trump and Epstein, Clinton and Epstein, Maxwell in the middle like a spider weaving the web. You think they were talking about the weather? You think they were discussing interest rates? They were talking about power. The accumulation of power and the abuse of power. And now the bill has come due. The waiter is at the table, and he's holding a check with a lot of zeros, and nobody wants to pay. Let's go back. Let's go back to the 90s. The roaring 90s. Money was flowing. The champagne was cold. And Jeffrey Epstein was the man to know. He was the connector, the financial wizard, the guy with the plane, the Lolita Express. What a name. It makes you sick just saying it. But they got on that plane. Why? Because it was convenient? No. Because it was a sanctuary from the law, a sanctuary from morality. At 30,000 feet, the rules of God and man didn't apply, or so they thought. But gravity, my friends, gravity is a cruel mistress. What goes up must come down. And now that plane has crashed into the public consciousness, and Clinton is standing in the wreckage saying, I wasn't flying it, and look who was in the cockpit with me. He is pointing the finger right back at Mar-a-Lago. Right back at the parties where the young girls were recruited. It is a game of, I know what you did last summer, but last summer lasted for 20 years. And Trump's bluff? What is the bluff? The bluff is that he is the only innocent man in a room full of sinners. That he kicked Epstein out. That he banned him. Okay, sure. Maybe he did. But what about before that? What about the quote? He likes them on the younger side. You remember that? Trump said that. He knew. He knew the taste. He knew the preference. And to say now, oh, I was just being polite. Come on. Don't insult my intelligence. We are not children. We are not sheep. We see through the smoke. And Clinton sees through it too. That's why he's calling it. He's saying, if I go down, you're coming with me, Donnie. We are going to hold hands and jump off the cliff together. And that terrifies the GOP. It terrifies the Democrats. Because if both of their icons, both of their kings, are revealed to be monsters, what is left? Chaos. Anarchy. The complete collapse of faith in the system. And maybe, just maybe, that's what we need. Maybe we need to burn the forest down so something new can grow. Hooah! Think about the files themselves, the documents, thousands of pages, redactions, black bars covering the truth. Why are they hiding it? Who are they protecting? They say privacy. They say innocence. I say garbage. They are protecting the system. They are protecting the establishment. Because if the regular people, the people working double shifts, the people paying their taxes, if they saw what really happened, if they saw the names, the princes, the presidents, the scientists, the actors, all engaging in this depravity, there would be riots in the streets. There would be pitchforks and torches, so they drip it out. A little bit here, a little bit there, controlled demolition. But Clinton is threatening to blow the dam. He's saying, let the water flow. Is it a risky move? You bet your life it's risky. It's the riskiest move he's ever made. But what does he have to lose? He's 78 years old. He's looking at the end of the road. He wants to clear the deck. He wants to say, I was bad, but he was worse. It's the defense of the desperate. But desperation makes men dangerous. And a dangerous Bill Clinton is a force to be reckoned with. And let's look at the media's role in this. The media, the vultures, they pick at the carcass. They love the headlines. Clinton versus Trump. Epstein files. It sells papers. It gets clicks. But are they digging? Are they really digging? Or are they just repeating the talking points? Because the real story isn't just about two men. It's about a network. A global network of trafficking. A network that operated in plain sight. How did Epstein make his money? Nobody knows. How did he get away with it for so long? Because he had insurance. He had dirt. He had tapes. And that is the ultimate conspiracy. Where are the tapes? Who has the tapes? Does Clinton have them? Does Trump have them? Does the FBI have them buried in a vault somewhere next to the Ark of the Covenant? Someone has the leverage. And whoever has the leverage holds the keys to the kingdom. And right now, Clinton is acting like a man who knows where the bodies are buried. He is strutting. He is walking with that swagger. Go ahead, make my day. You gotta ask yourself, why now? Why is this heating up now? Because the election is coming. It's always about the election. They are trying to knock Trump out. They are trying to neutralize him. And the Epstein card is the ace in the hole. But Trump is trying to use it too. He's trying to say, Biden, Clinton, they are the swamp. It's a mud fight, and in a mud fight, everybody gets dirty. But Clinton's calculation is cold. It is calculated. He thinks, the American people already know about me. They know about Monica. They know I'm a rascal. But Trump, they think he's a savior. If I show them he's a sinner, he loses. It's a gamble, a massive gamble. Because Trump's base, they don't care. They could see a video of him robbing a bank and they would say he was withdrawing his own money. But Clinton is betting on the independents, the suburban moms, the people who are on the fence. He wants to disgust them. He wants to make them vomit in their mouths so they stay home. It is ugly, it is cynical, but it is politics, and politics is a blood sport. I remember a time when honor meant something, when a handshake was a contract, when you looked a man in the eye and you told him the truth. Those days are gone, gone with the wind. Now, it's about leverage. It's about blackmail. It's about who can yell the loudest. And these two, they are the loudest voices in the room. They are shouting over the graves of the victims. And that is the tragedy. Who is talking about the girls? Who is talking about the stolen innocence? Nobody. They are using the victims as ammunition. Look what he did to them. No, look what he did to them. It is shameful. It is a disgrace. It makes you want to wash your hands with bleach. But we can't look away. We have to watch. Because if we look away, they get away with it. We have to be the witnesses, the jury. The bluff implies that Trump is hiding something massive, that he is terrified of a specific document, maybe a flight log from a specific date, maybe a witness testimony, Doe 174, Doe 102. These aren't just numbers, these are human beings, and maybe one of them has the story that brings the house of cards down. Clinton seems to think so. He seems to think that if he pushes hard enough, Trump will fold. But Trump doesn't fold. He doubles down. He triples down. So what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force? Explosion. Boom! The whole thing goes up, and we are standing in the blast zone. There is a theory, a dark theory, that Epstein was an intelligence asset. Mossad, CIA, who knows? That he was gathering compromat on everyone, to control them, to steer policy. If that is true, then Clinton and Trump are just pawns. Pawns in a much bigger game. A game played by shadows. A game played by ghosts. And maybe Clinton knows that. Maybe he knows that the files will never fully come out because the national security apparatus won't let them. So he can call the bluff safely. He can say, release them, knowing that the CIA will step in and say, national security, redact it all. It's a win-win for him. He looks tough, but the secrets stay safe. That is the cynicism of the highest order. That is 4D chess played in the dark, and we are the spectators trying to guess the moves by the sound of the pieces moving. But let's assume, just for a second, let's dream, that it all comes out. Unredacted, raw, the whole ugly truth. What would happen to America? Would we collapse, or would we be cleansed? I like to think we would be cleansed. I like to think that the truth sets you free. But the truth is also a fire, and fire burns. It burns the rot, but it burns the house too. Are we ready for that? Are we ready to see our heroes, our leaders, naked and ashamed? Are we ready to admit that we looked the other way, that we voted for them, that we cheered for them? It is a collective guilt, a national shame. And Clinton and Trump are just the avatars of our own corruption. We created them. We fed them. And now they are eating us. You look at Clinton's eyes in the old footage. He has that twinkle, that charm. He could sell ice to an Eskimo, but look at his eyes now. They are tired. They are wary. He knows the wolves are circling. He knows that history is judging him, and he doesn't want the last chapter of his book to be the Epstein years. He wants to rewrite the ending. He wants to be the elder statesman who stood up to the tyrant. But you can't erase the ink. The ink is dry. You can only spill more ink over it, and that is what he is doing. Spilling ink, spilling words, spilling accusations, hoping to obscure the past. And Trump? The Don? He thinks he is invincible. He thinks he can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue. But the Epstein files are not Fifth Avenue. They are a dark alley. And in a dark alley, anything can happen. Even to a billionaire. Even to a president. If there is a tape, if there is a photo, it's over. The spell breaks. The MAGA hat falls off. And he is just a man who did terrible things. And he knows it. That's why he fights so hard. That's why he screams so loud. Fear. It is always fear. Fear of exposure. Fear of irrelevance. Fear of the truth. So Bill Clinton calls the bluff. He puts his chips in the center. He stares across the felt, and the whole world holds its breath. What happens next? Does Trump show his hand? Does he flip the table? Does he call in a favor from a judge? Or does the dealer, justice, finally deal the final card? We don't know. That is the suspense. That is the drama. It is better than any movie I ever made, because it is real. It is the fate of the Republic, and we are living in it. I want you to think about the justice system. The Lady Justice. She wears a blindfold, but sometimes I think she wears the blindfold so she doesn't have to see what they are doing to her. They are mocking her. They are turning the scales into a seesaw. I have money, I go up. You have no money, you go down. That is not justice. That is a racket, a criminal racket. And Epstein was the bagman for the racket, and Clinton and Trump were the VIP customers. And now they are arguing over the receipt. You paid for it. No, you paid for it. Who cares who paid for it? The crime was committed. The soul of the nation was sold. And don't get me started on the island, Little St. James, a paradise turned into a hell, palm trees concealing predators, the temple. You saw the pictures of the temple. What was that about? What rituals? What madness? And these men, these leaders of the free world, they went there. They breathed that air. They walked those sands. Does it not haunt them? Do they not wake up in the middle of the night sweating? Or are they so cold, so dead inside that they feel nothing? I fear the answer. I fear they feel nothing. I fear they think it was their right. Droit du Seigneur, the right of the Lord, to take what he wants. That is feudalism. That is the Dark Ages. And we are seeing it in the 21st century. So the showdown is here. The bluff has been called. The cards are on the table. And we are waiting. Waiting for the turn. Waiting for the river. But remember this, my friends. In a game between two sharks, the only loser is the fish. And we are the fish. We are the bait. So wake up. Swim. Get out of the water. Demand the truth. Demand it all. Don't settle for the scraps they throw you. Don't settle for the redacted lies. Demand the raw, ugly, naked truth. Because only the truth can save us now. Hoo-ah! You hearing me? Are you feeling this? This isn't a script. This is a sermon from the Church of Reality. And the reality is that our emperors are naked, and they are ugly, and they are fighting over a blanket to cover themselves. Let them fight. Let them tear the blanket to shreds, and let us see them for what they are. Subscribe to the channel. Do it now, because we aren't stopping. We are just getting started. We are going to dig until we hit the bottom of hell if we have to, and I'll be right here, leading the way, with my flashlight and my pickaxe, and my voice that will not be silenced. You can't silence the truth. You can't silence Alpacino, and you can't silence the American people when they finally decide to stand up. So stand up, rise up, and let them know that the game is over. The bluff is called, and we want to see the cards. Show us the cards. Show us the cards. I'm out, but I'm watching, always watching. Don't forget that. The eyes, they never lie.